Welcome to another episode of Lifelong Learner. This is the Out of Class edition with Ben, Janesh, and Matt. Hope you enjoy.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Lifelong Learner Out of Class. Welcome, Matt. Welcome, Ben. How are we all doing?
Right, really good.
Very well.
Good to see you, boys. Really good to see you, Maddie. How are you? I'm really interested, Maddie. If we can launch straight in, how's the project going? Because I saw some rendered drawings,
Did you?
which looked amazing.
Ah, very cool. Ryan.
Yeah.
Ryan. Yeah, good. We are, where are we at? There's a lot happening. When was the last update? What did I tell you last? Can you
You're
remember?
building a crooked wall.
Oh yes, the crooked wall is finished. Where are we at now? Oh, we've started structure. So the steel rebar is going up the columns for the cafe, for the hostel, and for the family villa. So all two-story buildings. The internal steel structures basically up now. Now they're building formwork around it to make the beams and the columns. So the goal is we need to have roofs on by, or at least the second story. So we have undercover space by the time the wet hits in 2 months.
When's that? In 2 months.
Yeah.
So technically, after that roof is on, you can sleep there.
Technically, yes.
Is there like occupancy certificate stuff there or not? Like once you do you need to get final sign off before you're allowed to stay there or have paying guests there, or not really? That doesn't exist there in Indonesia.
No, yeah, there's those things. Building licenses and insurance and stuff like that. So, but what we can do, and probably what will happen, is we're building accommodation for our staff. We're about to upscale. We've got about 10 people now, but we're going to double and go to 20 because, yeah, it's going to be a bit of a pinch to get everything done before the rain hits. So this week, tomorrow, I think we're going to go to double the staff. So we're building staff accommodation so they can all live on site. But probably what will happen once they've got roofs on, they'll just spread out, and some will stay in staff accommodation, some will sleep in the cafe or the hostel. Yeah. So that's big news. But the big one is I've been trying to chase down a wood supplier, and I think we've nailed it. We're agreeing today, which is really exciting because it all comes out of boats. So this is what I've been chipping away at for the last 3 weeks, month. And just trying to build a relationship with this guy. And he's a really cool dude, and he does some really cool stuff, but he's mucho dinero. So
Mate, it's just like Catan. You're going after people, building relationships to get their resource, and they're gonna pay. You have to pay a price for the resource.
Yeah.
I'm really curious. How many? When we say resources, like how many chickens is it?
Basically, this all started because steel's really expensive. So in our design, there's a concrete two-story structure, and then attached is like this two-story double-decked kind of restaurant. And the steel, when we were looking at it to start preparing the attachments from the foundation, we need to decide how we're going to do it. Is it steel? Is it concrete? And we were going back and forth because concrete's cheap than steel, but it's not as light. You can't have as smaller columns, and there was just all these things. So we're back and forth, and then the builder said, "Why don't we do it out of wood?" And he had a supplier where he thought he could get it cheaper than steel. So I was like, well, all right. So it's going to look better. It's going to be natural material, and it's going to be cheaper. Yeah, let's do that. Obviously, wood has its own challenges. It burns. It can break. So it's just a game of pros and cons. And I was looking at it from a financial and aesthetic. And Kat comes from the ecological sustainable development side, the environmental sustainable side. So she was like, no, we can't take wood from anywhere. It has to come from somewhere sustainable. So that changed things. And then I found this guy with the boats. So you basically pay more, but it's probably stronger, but it's more expensive. So originally we changed the wood to get it cheaper, 20% cheaper is what I was told. It's now 20% more expensive
Than steel.
which was the original. The reason to change to wood was for cheaper. And I've been working at this for 3 weeks, and Kat's been away. She's in Komodo having a holiday. And I rang her last night, and I was so excited, right? You're just 2 different spaces, 2 different times. I've been like, I must have had 15 meetings. Like, it's been wild. And I finally kind of got an agreement, and I managed to shave off, like, maybe it was only, I think it was like $8,000 or something off the total. And my team was like, let's just do it. Like, fuck it. I'm like, what about budget? They're like, like, to be fair, we'll just make it work. Let's just do it. So I've called Kat. Kat has no contacts. And I'm like, so we're getting the wood. And she's like, cool. How much did you get it for? I tell her, and she's like, that's not what we agreed. We were meant to be getting wood because it's cheaper. I'm like, yeah, but this happened and then this happened. I'm trying to speed her up, and I was hoping for excitement and, cheer squad, and it was more just accountability. And what are you doing? Why are we spending extra 30 grand when we're meant to be saving money?
How did you go with that? Because that's hard when you're excited and either they give the like a slap of reality, no context, or ask inappropriate questions for that time, for that state, right? They're definitely more than 2 states away. And you're like, you know what?
Yeah.
Fuck you in the nicest way possible.
That's
How'd you deal with that?
Yeah, not great. Like, that's the point though, that there's it's just 2 states away. We're just in different states. I'm in this, like, yes, success. We finally, like, I've just, I've fought a dragon and I've won. And you're in it's the wrong dragon. Why are you slaying that dragon? So yeah, I was gutted. And I could tell, because I'm on the phone, I can tell my tone is a bit whingy, bitchy, like, come on. So yeah, it was interesting. And all great questions. Brilliant. Where are you to ask these questions? I need your help, So yeah.
I think, that's something that often maybe team partners that they, well, it's not that they don't understand. That's not the point, but maybe it is that they don't understand. And we've talked about this before, the idea of time and money and energy and sanity that you put into something for the return on investment in different aspects. But there's the money bit, and Kat might go, no, can't do it, the money. Well, now that's just cost you another month of negotiating with someone else, the sanity involved, the energy involved. How much is all that worth to go, hey, we're 30 grand over budget, but we've got a deal done. I don't have to go back and spend another month trying to find another builder and more timber and the cost of that component, right?
Where were you yesterday, mate? That's exactly, and I couldn't tap into that. I couldn't access that very important point. But that's what my builder was saying. He's saying, mate, we've come too far down this road now. Like, we need to get going. And he could just list a series of reasons why it was a good choice. He's like, yeah, we're over. And yeah, time.
You're running out of time.
Money. And he's like, this is a great connection. He's actually excited to work with this guy because he can see a long-term relationship. And he's like, Matty, if we can agree to this, you do some schmoozing, we can make this can be a win. Like, yes, it's 30 now, but we'll be able to potentially salvage something further down the line. And this guy can look at your design, and he's an expert with this hardwood. He can basically just using his mind, he can go, I can use this size dimension for this, I can use this size dimension for that. So he actually doesn't need to revalue, engineer it to be able to do it. So that saves us, maybe 3-4 grand worth of valued engineering, changing everything, getting an engineer to look at it. So yeah, win. I'm excited. We'll work out the money thing later.
Oh, so we are getting the timber.
Like today we're gonna see, and Kat's in Bali today. She doesn't know yet, but I'm gonna ask her if she wants to go to the place where the boats are and get a little bit of footage and film the timber, and then I think we're gonna sign tonight, send a deposit tomorrow.
Nice.
Exciting.
Exciting. How do you,
I hope it works out.
because I've been on both ends of what Matt was saying in terms of being the downer or the realist and shooting someone down.
Let's call that the realist.
Yeah,
realist, not the
yeah,
downer.
like someone's. But
Can't
no,
listen to
no,
this.
in hindsight, I'll own it. I have been the downer. Someone's come with this like epic. They haven't really shared how much time they put in it, and I've just come in and gone, all right. Have we thought about this, and this, and this, and what about this? And I'm not sure that's going to work, and it crushes them. At the same time, I've been on the other end of it, going, I'm excited, and someone's like, it's not that exciting. We can't afford that right now. You're like, well, fuck off. We're doing it anyway. Yeah. How do you do those situations better?
Unfortunately for me, I'm usually the one on the side of the kind of head in the sky, I got this amazing idea. And then my dad, my girlfriend, really good friends are really great at grounding me and saying, yeah, but let's bring this back to reality. So I think I've developed the skill of taking hard punches. I maybe haven't developed the skill of asking great questions. So I appreciate it, but in the moment I need to breathe. I just have to breathe and then like try and put myself in their shoes seems to help, like take myself out of it in that moment where I'm feeling like a wounded child, disappointed. What about you, Ben? You must surely, you've been on this earth longer than us. You must have experienced both sides of this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think, sometimes in life, I don't reckon there's a solution. It's just always going to be the challenge. Someone's going to know something the other person doesn't and present a story, and the other person's not going to know all the details, and they'll be critical or judgmental from their perspective, not knowing all the background details. I think that's just part of the deal. I don't think there is a fix for that. It then comes down to those difficult conversations and putting your point across and being able to communicate that well. Yeah. It's
you must come to the table with some pretty over the years outrageous ideas, I would assume. I know you relatively well. Like
Both in your business and family. How does that get received well with team and Michelle and the kids?
Is it you've just got better at communicating, or how do you maintain enthusiasm while people are?
Yeah, I think the people around you maybe start adapting. They start adapting to just how business gets done, how we roll.
How many years in that? I'm just I'm taking notes for marriage advice. How many years is that into your marriage that they adapt?
Mate, it's a really slow, drawn-out process to let but it takes a while, and they still don't quite get it at times. But
do you end up? How do you not get like beat down's not the right word? Yeah, like and keep forging the good fight. Like, how do you just go? Yeah. How do you not say fuck it? Sometimes you go, oh, I'm not going to fucking come up with that idea.
a great mate of mine, ex-business partner, good mate, and he said, Benny, way better to ask forgiveness than permission.
Yes.
And mate, I don't know whether that was always my modus operandi or since Russ Christensen, mate, I know you listen to the show, since he gave me that, but that's pretty much something that I do. I'd rather face the forgiveness rather than the battle of getting permission. Yeah. Yep. Life's not always a democracy either. Not everything has to be a democracy. Not everything has to be voted on and get the consensus and take the average. And, sometimes someone's got to make a decision and ask forgiveness afterwards, I reckon.
Yeah, I like that.
Nothing had ever moved forward if we were always fucking the committee and the committee had to vote on it and we had to have a unanimous. And who's not to say that the guy that wasn't in the unanimous vote was the guy that was right?
And it's mainly because with like people's risk tolerances are different, right? Or they've got different fears, or they have different levels of or tolerances of uncertainty and certainty, right? Where someone goes, look, we can stay the same where we are, and that's okay. That's playing it safe. And yeah, or we can roll the dice. And some people are like, well, no, I don't want to roll the dice. And you're like, well, no. Well, you said you got to go. It's not gonna lead to progress, right? And if you it's kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like if you wait for that committee all to say yes, and then you're like, well, fuck, they may not say yes, but they're going to be probably happier if this does work later. They're not going to go, oh, why did we do this if it worked later?
That was I've realized a few times that when it's your vision, it's a bit of a lonely path because you're like, from a state perspective, from a enthusiastic perspective, from a like emotional investment, no one's ever going to be as invested. No one's ever going to see it clearly. You're the one. Like I keep telling myself, this is your job. You're the one that has to carry this. And the thing that helps for me is the story. Like I keep coming back to the story. So with the wood, it was like, that's where I got my enthusiasm back after the tough questions. I was like, but what about the story? Like built out of ships? Like, come on. And then I managed to sustain energy and excitement even while I'm taking really good shots, like they're good questions. Where's the money coming from? I don't know. The wood, the boats, it's called shipwreck. You pick it up what I put down and she can't. You can't argue with that because it's madness.
Yeah. My business partner also had another great saying. Russ had a lot of great ones. It's hard to soar like an eagle when you're surrounded by turkeys. The acorn doesn't fall far from the tree. These are all great quotes that he used to have. But another great one was, and it puts you in a bit of does that with your brain a little. The money will come from wherever it is now, Matt. He used to say that to me all the time. Whenever I used to say, hey, Russ, I've just bought another X-ray machine, he'd go, the money will come from wherever it is now. Don't worry about it.
That's brilliant. That's gonna.
What does that? What does that mean?
The money's somewhere.
Yeah, the money is somewhere.
Everything is somewhere.
Yeah. It'll come from wherever it is now.
Yeah, well, no.
And it kind of did eventually.
It'll also go wherever it's going, which is out of my pocket.
Yeah. The other guy, the wood guy, is saying exactly that. The money will come from wherever it is now.
Yeah, it's with Matt and it's coming to me now.
Tomorrow at 8:30, please.
Yeah. There's a lot of projects are buried in graveyards, where they just never were realized. No one did all that took the risk. And there are a lot of projects that actually get activated and completely fail. And there's a lot of projects that get activated and it's really a success, right? So the only way though is to have a crack. Yeah. Don't be silly, don't take crazy risks, but being in business and being an entrepreneur is about uncertainty. It's about taking some risk. So
How do you share that risk or that view with,
Keish,
yeah, or like the people around you where you go, well, their tolerance for that is not like that.
yeah.
And you go, you gotta, yeah, like again, calculated, and smart risk, but you gotta risk it for the biscuit, right? And that's like, how do you share that? Like if you never try, you never know, right? And then at times the stakes are a little bit higher at times, and it's like, well, how do you share that with your circle, with your community?
I want to tweak that a little bit because I need this answer, and it's what you're asking. But actually, no. So Benny, answer his question first. I'll ask mine next. Sorry.
I'll ask you a question.
Go, because you might formulate both
I
together.
don't know whether I've got the answers. I'm living on 1,300 calories minus 600 calories worth of cardio. So I'm literally living on 700 calories.
Looking very. What's that expression? Chiseled, like a lizard. What's going on?
Oh.
Holy shit, Benny! It's like
Mate, I've got 3 weeks and I'm on stage, and I had a posing workshop on the weekend, and the guy goes, I can't see your abs. I can't see it. You need to live. You need to live on chicken and
that's all I
chicken.
do.
Chicken and chicken.
Chicken that
chicken.
eats chicken, preferably.
And then I caught up with my coach on Monday, and I said, I got to tell you, I haven't lost as much weight as I'd like. And he goes, well, what's going on? I go, well, look, I did eat out Friday, and then
No.
I did actually eat out on Saturday, but I was pretty good. I was pretty good. He goes, mate, you can't eat out at all. I said, I kind of had to. Like this was he goes, mate, you just don't go out. You just don't go out.
You don't have a social life.
So
How serious are
us-
you about this six-pack, Benny? You went out twice.
I was pretty
You
good.
just lost 2.
You were pretty
Gone.
good. You were
4 pack
relatively
now.
pretty good.
Some of those veggies.
Relatively.
The problem with eating out is they use lots of butter, oil, and salt. You know, the two enemies of someone that's trying to get, trimmed up is oil and salt. So, yeah, and it takes, probably takes 2 or 3 days for that salt to come out of your system. Anyway,
good going on, doesn't
anyway, so what's your question? I can answer on my 700 calories.
It's gone now. I was just thinking about your abdominal muscles, and they say it's born in the kitchen, but it's also you got to do. Are you doing something? Are you building abs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be both.
Feedback on Saturday as well. He goes, mate, what are you doing for crunchy? What are you doing for abs? I go, well, I'm doing it. He goes, you're doing the wrong thing. He said, you've got you've got a huge ab up the top here, which a lot of us have, and what you're doing is just continue to work that upper ab. We've got to get these bottom ones.
Leg raises, brutal.
Raises.
Leg raises.
Hanging leg raises too, and
Leg raises and leg raises. A few more leg raises.
Oh, that hurts so much just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Oh, leg raises
Every day. Abs every day. Between now and the comp.
and squats, deadlifts. That all helps core massively because you got that big weight on your back and you're trying to keep your core straight.
We don't do those ones. We don't do that.
yeah,
No.
doesn't build the figure.
That's
Oh.
it's too risky as a bodybuilder.
They don't
And
squat.
a 50-year-old. No squats.
Nah.
No squat.
No free
Deadlift?
squats. No free squatting.
Oh yeah, Smith machine. What about
Yeah.
deadlift?
No deadlifts.
Crazy.
I know.
There you go.
So question, Janesh.
Yeah,
And
that was Matt. Didn't have Matt. His question's gone.
It's gonna come back when you ask your next question. It was there. I was like, I need this answer.
what's the question, Janesh?
I asked it before you went on a tangent of your 700 calories. How do you share that, say that entrepreneurial mindset of like, you know what, you need a risk for progress with your community or with people that are around you that don't really have as much tolerance for the risk.
No, doesn't trigger anything, Ganesh. No, you didn't ask it right. Ask again how you asked it before, and then it'll come to me.
I think
Risk.
I think it's the first answer it comes back to me a little bit is not everything's a democracy. Like it's just not. I was on a call last night with a group of guys putting together for a hike, and one of the guys, Folker, who's one of my hiking buddies, is he's a team player. He's about look after the team, make sure everyone's feeling good, and that's just not how I roll. So I like hanging out with people, but I don't want to row at the same pace that everyone else is rowing at.
Give me my own damn boat.
Yeah. And so it was just interesting, the contrast. You know, one of the guys said, "Oh, like, could we stay somewhere where there's like cabins and toilets?" And I'm going, "What are you like? There's no fucking way we're doing that." But Folk goes, "Oh, okay, yeah, well, we could go and do this different hike where there's cabins and toilets." And I'm going, "No, we're not catering, to where this is the hike we're doing. This is the hike we're doing, guys. It's not like up for discussion, really." Because Folker in the beginning, he said, "Oh, now this is just a guide. We could, if you've got any ideas around what else we could do." I'm thinking, no. I've decided this is the hike, and these are the dates, and this is how far we're going to walk.
And this is the speed at which we will walk.
Yeah. So I think that needs to exist. You need people like that. Otherwise, nothing ever gets done. And you can't always be popular.
But you do also need
Doug
when you go
Heron.
the wrong way and you're in a crevasse and everyone's about to turn on Benny, and then comes
risk you take.
click.
The risk you got to take. A great man of mine, Doug Heron, he said, "Mate, I might be right or I might be wrong, but I am in no doubt." And I think that's the key, is to be in no doubt. Like, boom, I've burnt the boats. This is the path I'm going. I think I'm right, but I might not be. But I'm just in no doubt around this.
That's doubt's horrible. Doubt kills more dreams than anything.
Yeah.
So unknowingly, that's my philosophy. It's like better to make a decision. It's an empowered state. Great things come from confidence. Fortune favors the bold. Try and take your head with you. Like, that's why I don't mind people who are really critical, who think and plan a lot. Like, I'm kind of throw caution in the wind, just kind of trust myself. I got this, and I'll learn on the fly. And Kat's very like plan, methodical, brilliant. Good team. We need each other, but fuck, it must be scary for her sometimes, because I just leap and I'll grow my wings on the way down. She's like, "You can't do that." I'm like, "I can." Oh, here it is. How do you, when you're in a team, because either way, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right? We agree on this. And what happens is, this is what gets me. This is where I come unstuck. Is that regardless of what you believe, the evidence you create from your experience will reinforce that belief, right? So if I leap and I take risk, I keep taking risk because I've learned in my life that risk gets rewarded. Yes, I fail, but I don't perceive failure as like failure. I see it as a lesson, or I win. So either way, I'm going to keep taking risk. Whereas someone who's a little bit more planning orientated, prepares, they often use that failed, experience as proof to reinforce, this is why we got to be more prepared. This is why we plan. Now, those two sometimes they don't compute, right? Because when I'm like, yeah, we should do this, and my planner says, yeah, but last time we did that, it didn't work. You failed. That's evidence to plan. I'm like, no, I didn't fail. I learned something, and now I'm going to leap again. So, because we're both using the same evidence, but completely differently to reinforce our own beliefs, which don't bring us together. It actually
Separates it.
Yeah. Oh. So how do you do this, Ben? It's all comes back to the same thing. I know it does. Just make a decision.
Just make a decision.
And
I
then
reckon
beg for forgiveness.
get rid of the democracy on some things, you know, like some things. Yeah, just someone's just got to make a decision on. And the key is, I reckon, if you're in no doubt, people buy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're trying to sell it, and at the same time you're trying to sell it to yourself,
Oh, you're fucked.
you're fucked.
Yeah,
But
you're
if
fucked.
and go like, I've just made my decision. I'm in.
Mm.
We're moving on this.
Mm-hmm.
Then people go, okay.
That would that leads me into kind of going into my takeaway for today, and I'm happy to start this week, is that lead with utmost certainty. Make a decision and lead with certainty. And give certainty. So there is like, make a decision and then it's your responsibility to give like utmost certainty. Right. And I think it just echoes what you were saying, having no doubt and then spreading that no doubt. So then everyone else is like, well, fuck, all right. This person's so certain this is going to work for whatever reason. We're going to follow. And then make a decision. Make a decision and then back it. Don't make a decision and go, oh, no. Because then you're fucked.
Mm.
Yep. Then you've already lost.
Yeah. Maddie, what's your takeaway for today?
Yeah, it's an internal game. Like you said, like I think this reinforces the idea of being certain. Yeah, you just make the decision and go for it. And it's internal, like that doubt. As you said, like you try and sell something you don't believe in, it's game over. You're not going to win. So knowing that beforehand, make the decision and then become so clear on the why that you just kill your compadres with enthusiasm and complete certainty. And sometimes it doesn't need to be based in reality. It's just be so certain that what you're doing is going to work. And the why is the way through. It's like, because this tied to the vision, they got to buy it. They got to. There's no other choice. The money's coming from somewhere.
From somewhere.
Wherever it is now.
Here it is now. It's coming.
I'm using that today. Today when I asked Kat to pay for this deposit. The money's, what is it, Ben? So I'll write down.
Yeah, write this down. Practice it. The money, Kat. The money will come from wherever it is now. She'll be in a trance for about 20 to 30 minutes, just enough time for you to get the contract signed.
Make the decision. Benny, what's your takeaway from today?
My takeaway is I just love what Maddie's doing, and it's just so exciting, you know, going out and sourcing timber made from boats and building and, you know, just making something out of nothing. I think it's just super exciting. It's the entrepreneurial spirit that all three of us have, that not everyone has. And mate, I'm really excited for you, and I just love that feeling. And for people like us, you know, to not let that be stifled by others, the naysayers. I think it's really, really exciting.
Nice. Well, this was good. Good chat, gentlemen. It was definitely valuable for me.
Mate, fuel in my enthusiasm tank. I've got some quotes to go back to. Money will come from wherever it is now, Kat.
Love it. And then you hang up the phone and then you go, great, I'm going to quickly wire that money and go, look. And she goes, hey, about that, it's come from wherever it is now, from my account to
And
their
it's
account.
gone to
It's
wherever
gone,
it's
it's going.
Can't touch this.
Oh, I love it. All right,
Yes.
gents. Till next time. Have a good one, everyone.
Yes.
See you guys.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Lifelong Learner. If you like this episode and want to know more and hear other episodes, head over to lifelonglearnerpodcast.com, where you can subscribe to our newsletter, where you'll be the first to know when new podcast episodes come out. And if you want to say hello, tell us a joke, or ask us a question, send us an email at hello@lifelonglearnerpodcast.com. Thanks again.